Hello and welcome back to the Adventure Archive. My name is Ryan and I'll be your Dungeon Master tonight as we try to remember how to stream 5th edition The Dark Kingdoms. With me, as always, we have Matt as Victor the Calder, the Human Death Cleric. Just realized I did finger guns again. Jess as Dariana Bloodright, the Elfmark Seraphage Sorceress. Jason as Cutter the Faceless, the Daracool Rogue Duelist. Cam as Corin Flesherend, the Daracool Battlemaster Fighter. And Eric as Sylvester the Dhampir Warlock with his Spine Devil familiar, Annie. The Dark Kingdoms takes place in the Midgard setting, which is published by Kobold Press, so you will notice some differences in some of the races, classes, features, and whatnot. And please be aware, this is an evil campaign containing evil-aligned characters in a dark fantasy setting, and as such, may not be suitable for some audiences. Graphic descriptions of gore, murder, mutilation, and torture are fairly common. Hello, everybody. Hello, Andy in chat. We miss you. How are you, friend? Thank you, everybody here, all of you, the players, for giving us a hype train before we started with all our resubs since it's been 6 weeks.
There we go.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah, yay.
On a level 2 hype train.
Awesome.
Ready to go.
Oh, and then
there's Matt.
Yeah, I was
Matt
sitting
coming
on
in with 14 months. There we go.
We were just testing the alerts, really. That's all.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Here. Now that makes sense in my brain. I also got a level 1 hype train emote. There you go. Is that it's like a wannabe Squirtle?
Is there a sparkle?
Like a laughing turtle?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Is
It's
it
turtle.
a turtle? What the shit?
Turtle.
Oh man.
Oh, it's
a mutant ninja.
No turtles allowed.
Turtles aren't real.
Weak.
I mean, D&D lore isn't even real anymore. It's all just a universal gray blob of everything. So
It's whatever you want it to be.
What you want. Yeah. Still gonna charge you $50 a book. So game. Gosh, it's been a long time since we streamed or played. So first of all, do we have anything come out of anything going on? Well, so Eric, we are 84% towards running a Gamma World 1-ish shot. So if you have channel points that you want to contribute, you can just hit on the experience points button and contribute to Eric's Gamma World game. Down there, I have 138,000 experience points. And I think that's it. We don't really have a whole lot planned to start the year except to continue with Dark Kingdoms. Tomorrow, we'll talk about a little bit more at the end of stream, but we're going to be starting back up on Merkborg with Jason. So that's what's coming up. And other than that, I think we're just trying to kind of get out of the holiday hiatus and get back up and running here on the Adventure Archive. So you'll see us planning things as we go forward a little bit. But right now, if you don't know or haven't been aware, we have reached what is going to be kind of the final stretch. Years, like well before we ever even well before we ever even thought about streaming, this game was going. We ran 30 sessions before it ever came online, the entire first arc, which I recently did find almost all the old audio for from like session 4 or 5 on. So maybe once this is done, I can go back and convert this into a podcast and just do like a recap of the first 4 episodes and then put it all out there for everyone to listen to if they would. We'll see if I have the time or desire or anything. So yeah, 86%. So getting into the Dark Kingdoms, I guess we'll go back to kind of the beginning of the stream, the beginning of this arc. Previously, the players were all a bunch of evil people, because this is an evil campaign, working for the Glutton of Hanksburg, a big tubby vampire named Rojan, where they kidnapped an up-and-coming paladin, brought her back to Morgau, the Kingdom of Vampires, and then Lucian, the King of Vampires, showed up quite upset since Rodion, by sending the party to kidnap this girl, could have started a war. After disciplining Rojan, he told the party members, you're a bunch of idiots, but now you work for me, so I need you to go do these things. And they were to find the Cult of the Red Winter, which is a sect of Red Sisters, the religious order that worships Morena, the goddess of blood and lust, but they don't believe that vampires should be part of that church and were causing tensions within the kingdom. They were sent to kind of wipe out that sect, and they wiped out one of the major parts of it, and have not found any others. They were also sent to figure out who was messing with the alliance that the vampire kingdom had with the Ghoul Imperium. And through various trials and tribulations and visions, they figured out that there is a duke within the Ghoul Imperium who is supposedly a favorite of the Ghoul Emperor, Nicephorus, named Duke Drago Blackfly. That is a person from Cutter's past, and some other members, some other people from his past also working for Blackfly. He apparently is looking for the last blood of the kingdom of Krakovar, which was taken over by Morgau and the Ghoul Imperium 10 years ago. And with the blood of Archduke Avgost, the last of the royal lineage, the brother of the original king, there is some dark ritual that can be done that will somehow strengthen the Ghoul Imperium, and specifically Duke Drago Blackfly's sect of the Ghoul Imperium. And that strengthening could affect the entire world, global politics, and everything that people know. The party kind of got a hold of Avgost, lost Avgost, and then Drago Blackfly got his hands on him and took him down into the Ghoul Imperium. The party, after traveling to the Southlands and figuring out a way to navigate the Ghoul Imperium that is full of undead, made their way into the Imperium themselves. They have gone through what amounts to a ghoul coliseum, causing a bunch of chaos there. They have traveled through kobold cities, and most recently battled a cave dragon at the behest of one of the original rulers of, it was a ghoul king prior to the empire being formed, who is anti-Nicephorus, anti the empire. He requested that they go fight this dragon, retrieve his staff, and in doing so, he would help them infiltrate the Vandecool, which is the city where Blackfly and the ritual is going to take place. Once there, have allies within, if they were to do this. They battled Gondicap. It was very close. Multiple like bone dragons rose. It was fun. Go check it out. Episode 42. It culminated in Dariana disintegrating. Was it Gondicap or one of the other cave dragons?
It was Gondicap.
Yeah, murdered him. And they found the treasure of Gondicap. They found the staff, returned it, and the king, the last king, was true to his word, and sent them towards Vandecool, and gave them the names of some allies to find once they get there. The best way to get to Vandecool is by crossing the Sulphur Sea, a massive yellow sea of sulfur. To make their way across to Vandecool, and that is where we start our episode tonight. They've made their way to docks that they previously passed on the way to Gondicap, to try to figure out a way to get to Vandecool across the Sulphur Sea. So to do a little bit of a recap, this is the path that the party has taken on the way to... Did I move you guys, or did I just move me?
Just you.
I think just you.
Yeah.
2 times. There you go.
Wait. Oh, did you
It's
wanna
probably
take us
down to the
back out-
right.
take us back out to the map? You took us to
You just got to zoom out.
the
to it.
overland map. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the overlay
See the
map. So this
Sulphur.
is just where you guys have been throughout
Sulphur
the
Sea.
throughout the Underdark so far. Came in through the Pillars of the Underworld, met the kobolds at Lilifor, made your way back to the Pit of All Flesh, which was the kind of undead Colosseum. Completely forgot about the Cult of the Withered Hand, the insane Darrow covered in
The
shit
baby.
and blood that you fought. The queen of which directed you towards the last king. You made your way to the Dragon's Graveyard where you battled Gondakap and are now back to the docks at the Sulphur Sea. So some decent amount of travel through the Underdark. In addition, one of the ways that you guys have been able to travel through this entire Imperium of ghouls, although only one, now two of you are ghouls. Corin Fleshrind was picked up at the Cult of the Withered Hand, as he had been body switched with a tiny Darrow baby. They when in the Southlands, they found a book, the book of Anu Akma, who is a death deity, and Daryana discovered the ritual in order to look like Darrakul, is to intertwine your toes and cast the spell. So you're able to go 24 hours appearing with the visage of a Darrakul, and it has worked thus far. So disguised as Darrakul, those that need it, as I said, you have made your way to the docks. And the last thing that you saw as you were arriving at the docks was a boat arrive, which is this guy right here. It's probably bigger than it looks. But on that boat, you saw two figures. You saw what appears to be a well-dressed Shadow Fae and a vampire thrall. And by his dress and position on the boat, assume that he is most likely the captain of the ship. Hey, Hunter. So, yes, Narrow Saint. That's the name of the last king that I kept forgetting. So as you make your way onto the docks, you guys are all right. Say here. What would you like to do?
Do we recognize any of these people at all? No.
You do not.
We know that people that we're looking for are named Marquise Laszlo Dimas and Marquess Dorva Grey Suture, but I'm guessing this is probably not them.
No. You also get the sense that both of those people are most likely Darrakul, and this is a Shadow Fae and a vampire.
And are they just staying on the boat? Or are they getting off, or what are they doing?
So the boat is currently kind of mooring, if I'm using the right term, Coast Guard man.
Yeah.
Where, so they're like casting the lines. You see crew members, like running all over the ship, getting the sails down, kind of getting it situated and parked, basically. And you see a number of Darrakul and ghouls doing that. Some ghasts as well. Let me move some things.
Sylvester, you are a smooth talker, usually. We have plenty of gems and money. Do you think you could get us passage on this vessel?
We could try. Should we wait till there's less around, or?
So it looks like they're just pulling in, Ryan? Like they're
Yeah, they're literally
just finished
currently
the boat.
docking.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm just going to put a couple of these guys on for reference, but there is multiple layers to this ship, like multiple levels. You see people going, down a level and back up. Let me move all these people. As they begin to kind of, like I said, park, wrap up, wind things down, get things situated. They're moving things around the ship. That's what's currently happened. You also see what appears to be another kind of very worn, broken down ship right here. And there are three buildings, two, one to the left and right of you as you come on the path, and one as you look farther down this direction. This one does seem to have a bunch of like barrels and crates and things outside of it. It seems larger than the others. So that is what you see are those three kind of spaces. It's not a huge dock by any stretch of imagination. And the Sulphur Sea in any other place this is called a sea would just be a medium-ish sized lake. It is not large by any stretch.
Okay. And is there anybody walking around, or is it just the people that are mooring the boat?
Currently, no, there's no one walking around. Are you going to kind of like walk out and explore? So we'll say that your tokens are where your tokens are. So you're currently in this like nice tight little 6-pack. If you want to move around and see.
Yeah, I kind of want to just kind of stake out the streets, like see what's going on.
So as you kind of see the front of the buildings, you see that this appears to be, and you've seen them before, both by living here previously and when you saw it at the Pit of All Flesh outpost. This appears to be a administration building.
Oh no.
And this episode. Yeah, this appears to be most likely a tavern. There's a sign hanging down, which you can read in Dercool. It says Hearty Spirits.
Which one did you click on? I didn't see it. I wasn't zoomed out.
The bottom one seems to be the tavern, and the middle one seems to be, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
And this at the top, like I said, looks like a very large building.
You say it's Hearty Spirits?
Yeah. Also in chat, I forgot to say hi to a lot of people because I kind of went on a rant there to start. But we got Skull in chat. And for those that, it's not a surprise, Skull is actually going to be on our Merkborg game tomorrow. So that'll be a good time.
Yay.
Father of Cats is Hunter, who needs to change his username, but he is my co-host on the Weekly Scroll. We got L2 in chat and Amerison with the resub earlier. Thank you so much, Amerison. It's great to have you back and see you again. So yeah, I believe, and the rest of it is us. So
what is Hunter's new username going to be?
Cats suck. Fuck 'em.
Cat daddy.
Yeah,
I don't know if Twitch will let him have it, but
Cats
we
suck
can try. We'll use a
underscore
PH.
fuck 'em, right?
Fuck 'em. Yeah. So that is where we're at. That is what's happening.
Where exactly are we trying to get on the boat? Just across to the next landmass, or is there a name of the port or harbor?
So what Narasane told you is that you need to get to Vandecool. Vandecool is one of the major cities in the Ghoul Imperium. It is not the capital city. It is one of the big cities, and it is also the one that is controlled by Duke Drago Blackfly, who, as I said previously, is known to be one of the favorites of the Emperor, but is also the one that appears to be leading this kind of rebellious machinations that would actually kind of dethrone the Emperor if they came to pass. So you are trying to get to Vandecool because Narasane told you through some of his the ears and eyes that he still has, that is where this ritual is going to take place. He didn't know a whole lot about the ritual. You probably know even more than him. He just knew that something was brewing and something was happening. But that the allies in the city, once he got his staff back, would be willing to speak with you and would probably have more information. So as of right now, what he told you to do was get to Vandecool, and then from there, find out the information you can, seek out his allies, figure out how you need to stop it, and then Narasane, with his staff back, will kind of take it from there as far as what he decides to do with regaining his power or making some type of move. So what you've been told is go to the docks, get to Vandecool.
Can we see that island that he told us about that has the Ghoulsbane from here on the dock?
You cannot. So the sea is, again, it's like a medium to large size lake, but it kind of goes, it has like a turn to it, I guess, a little bit. So you see more of, the Underdark or the underworld, but it looks like in the far distance, there is more out to the top right, I guess, since we're on a map.
Bit of a kidney bean shape.
Yeah, it is a bit of a kidney bean shape.
Would our Dercool friends know how long it'll take us to sail to Vandecool from here?
It will take. It's less than a day's travel.
Okay.
But Corin, it is entirely up to you whether you have been to Vandercool or not. If you have lived here your entire Daracool life, it's probably a good bet that you've been here before.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's pretty fair to say I would have been there before.
Yeah.
At least a couple times.
Yeah, and the Sulphur Sea isn't necessarily often used as a means of travel. It's not like there are like what are the things that you like drive your car on and then it'll take you across to another island?
Barry?
Ferry.
Yeah, there's no ferries. This isn't supposed to be like normal like citizen travel. Generally what the Sulphur Sea is used for is for commercial travel with a lot of merchants or for government travel, moving troops or officials or things like that around. It's not generally used as a means of transport for the average citizen. So what do you guys want to do?
Does it seem like
Yeah.
the vampire spawn and the Shadow Fae are kind of like going to come on the dock and head over towards us? And
So as of right now, they seem to be in conversation on the back of the boat as the crew seems to still be kind of like winding things down and getting things situated. The vampire spawn is occasionally calling out orders, but otherwise they seem kind of like deep in conversation right now, occasionally glancing towards the docks and things like that. But that is what's currently happening.
I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss Annie really quick.
Okay.
So, we may have the funds to buy passage, but I don't know if they'll be amenable to the stop that we'd like to make along the way.
Perhaps we don't mention it yet.
We said there's ghouls on the boat, right?
Yes, there's ghouls, there's ghasts, and you actually see a Daracool or two kind of making the way around. Obviously, in a hierarchy, the ghouls seem to be doing most of the like heavy lifting and big labor. The ghasts kind of doing a little bit more on the Daracool, almost more directing them, with the captain kind of on like a section in the back, directing from there as well.
Does Victor hear like a kind of a party going on in the tavern, or is it pretty dead?
It's definitely not a party. This whole space is not very big. It's not a very large dock, and it's not a very large tavern.
Okay. Interesting. And there doesn't appear to be any life on the broken down boat that we're looking at the end of our pier.
You see nothing. You could,
Nothing.
if you want to walk around and explore, you absolutely could. That is entirely up to you.
Why not?
What's everybody doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go investigate this boat.
All right. So while you're heading that way, is anyone going that direction too?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of cover Cutter.
Gotcha.
Keep an eye
And
out
Dariana,
on
what are you?
Cutter.
Dariana, what are you doing?
Are you sure you guys don't want to go into the admin building? I know we all love an admin building.
I do have some paperwork I could take care of.
I'm just gonna peek in the admin building.
Oh,
Okay.
If I can.
that's the tavern.
Oh.
Admin building's the middle one.
The middle one, yeah.
Sorry. So you're just gonna like open the door. There's a whole like bell chime at the
Is
top
there a
when it turns
window?
on. Yeah, sure. There's some windows. Yeah. So if you just want to kind of pop your head in, when you do, you see what appears to be just two kind of well-dressed ghouls, well-dressed Daracool. No. You know the difference at this point between like Imperial ghouls and ghasts and Daracool and things like that. So there used to be 2 Imperial ghouls, which are one of the types of ghoul or Daracool that are kind of near the top right below Daracool and are the same type as the other admin building that you were in, kind of dressed in the same government robes and things like that. They seem to be at desks covered with paperwork. It looks very bureaucratic. You see that. If you wanted to look closer at like papers or things like that, there's none like right under the window, so you'd have to go in and kind of see what's going on in there.
I'll wait. Doesn't look very exciting.
Okay.
Bureaucracy
So
rarely is.
So when you get out to the ship, one of the things you see on it, kind of emblazoned on the side, because a lot of it has been worn away or chipped away, in Daracool are the words Crimson Bloater on here.
Crimson Bloater.
Crimson
It's like the name of
Bloater.
the boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Parentheses, sinker not floater.
That sounds what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
I was waiting for
And
is it a particularly fat boat?
it's a little bit wide. It's a little chubby.
It's a little thick.
Yeah.
Big boat.
Seems like it would have been difficult to make, like a strain to produce.
Crimson Bloater. Okay.
Yeah. So welcome back to the Dark Kingdoms,
I know,
everybody.
sorry, guys. Sorry. Oh.
So, yeah. So it is hanging out there.
So when I board it, or I am boarding it, by the way. Does it look more or less like are the floorboards like ripped out and it's just completely destroyed, pretty much?
So the floorboard's not ripped out. It is not completely destroyed. Do you want to? What are you trying to figure out? Like whether it seems seaworthy or?
Yeah, seeing like what shape it's in.
Okay, why don't you roll me an investigation check?
I was hoping you'd ask that. All right.
Yeah.
Investigation. Here we go.
First roll of the new year.
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, first roll in 6 weeks. I should just bane it. Oh, don't need to.
Bait it.
DK, baby.
Holy shit! I only have 1 bless.
Dude, I can bless anything, but I don't think it's gonna help that.
No, you can't.
No.
You have 0.
Oh.
No, I have them on my. I have a necklace with 2 blesses on it.
What?
Are you talking about the necklace that came from the Southlands?
Yeah.
Didn't that disintegrate when you left?
No, this was the
No.
necklace that
We just
what's
got
his
it.
face gave us.
Yeah, he gave it. Narasane gave us a necklace,
Yeah.
and it had
Oh,
two blesses.
You're
of
not
pure,
talking about the gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
greater
gotcha,
restore
gotcha.
And a branding smite, which I definitely looking forward to.
Let me make sure our.
So do I really have? I have
just-
0 blesses.
Let's see if our bot is working correctly. There it is. That should start working and doing things now. If anybody wants to pass on some blesses and things to the party, that is the way to do it. You are more than welcome to. We will not say no. They will need them for the finale, so looks good to you.
Spoiler.
Fuck him.
It looks great.
Looks great.
Ship looks great. Giant holes in a boat.
Hey,
seems to not
Victor,
bother
I
you at
think I
all.
found a ride
Yeah.
for us.
So
It looks
Victor
fit
only
for
knows
open
the
water.
Ruthenian plane, so he's like, really, like he kind
Yeah,
of.
come look, and I stamp my foot on it, and I hit the.
Yeah. When you stamp your foot on it, you hear like a crack each time you do.
Oh,
Victor's thinking about putting water walk on him just in case he needs to walk away from this. Does it look like anybody has like that this boat has been anywhere for a while, or is there like spider webs on it?
Why don't you also roll me an investigation check? Someone who's probably never seen the ocean or water
Yeah, here we
at
go.
all.
Here we go.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's had
Especially
someone
water
like
describe
this,
a boat
right?
to him.
Fart water.
This is weird. Like
Did you say-
I'm clicking on
What did you just
investigation.
Now, what is fart
He's
water?
not sulfur water.
Sulfur?
Sulfur.
Yeah.
Oh,
Methane?
Have you
just
guys
out of
smelled
nowhere, I just hear
sulfur?
someone go,
That-
fart
It's like a
water.
goddamn
Farts are
fart.
methane?
Step up 3.
Yeah.
There
I'm
you
going-
go.
Yeah, oh, it
Good
looks
job.
good.
Sylvester's going into the bar.
Looks good. Hey, you got one more than me. Nice work.
Yeah.
It's looking good.
Oh, Skull says
just
just
wa-
get some flex tape.
Yeah, we're just warming up the dice. That's what we're doing.
Next tape.
That's all it is. When
That's a lot of
you
damage.
get on the boat, and Cutter says that to you, you're just like, yeah, it looks great, and also stomp on the boat and hear a bunch of cracks.
The
Um,
romance of the
and
sea.
since this is being your first time on the boat
Yeah.
and starts to kind of rock under your feet, any
Yeah.
other thing that you thought you were looking for completely escapes your mind. You're just like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
this feels weird.
Yeah.
Hey, Sursa.
Already.
Sursa on a 15-month streak. I believe Sursa has a founder's badge. So yeah, let's get some Sursas in the chat. Everybody
I
toss
thought you
them
said
in there.
surfs up at first.
Surfs up.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I think
Just-
Ryan, I think surfing. That checks
Yeah,
out.
absolutely. Yeah, no. Most shark attacks happen within a mile of shore, so fuck that. So no.
More likely to get in a car accident on your way to the beach.
Didn't someone get killed in Morro Bay? Or
Yeah, Morro Bay a couple weeks ago.
something?
In a place not anywhere near us.
Rest
Yeah.
in peace. Oh,
Can we get a docs in the chat, please? So
Because I can see
So,
their
yeah, when you-
excitement,
Was that a
and they all
bird
look
joke?
like they found a great boat. I'm gonna go ahead and duck
Yeah.
in the bar.
it's like Captain Ron.
absolutely.
I'm super
Thanks,
excited.
Andy.
I kind of
Seriously.
roll down the pier and talk to Dariana and kind of am a little too excited about how good this boat is looking.
It looks fantastic. Yeah. It's probably the first time you've ever been on a body of water. And yeah, looks great to you. So you was that Dariana?
So I can see the boat from here,
You absolutely can.
and he's telling me how great it is.
Yeah. Do you want to kind of peek over shoulder and
I
see
feel
what it
like
looks
I've
like?
probably been on a boat, so
You absolutely have been on many, many boats. Yeah.
yeah, I
But you
might.
can roll an investigation check as well.
4.
Ooh,
Oh, there we go.
I thought it was going to be a 5.
I do
Yeah.
too.
13 plus what?
Oh, 4. So
That's fine,
17.
yeah.
17. Yeah. You just glance over his shoulder, kind of like peek around him. The boat looks like fucking garbage. Like it clearly isn't gonna go anywhere. Like the fact that it's still somehow floating at the end of this dock is a testament to, I don't know, surface tension at this point. Like if you climbed onto this thing, it would sink.
Okay. I'm gonna just like smile and nod and be like, yeah. Boats. Looks
Mm.
great.
I know, right?
So Cutter also thinks it's amazing.
Yeah.
Also someone who's probably stayed away from water as well most of the time, considering he
30
lived a big
hours,
chunk of his life down here.
Yeah.
As you guys are all out there deciding that, you, Sylvester, dip into the Hardy Spirits Tavern. And when you do, you see that inside are a couple of ghouls. There's not like an inside, so you can just picture the inside of a tavern. And a couple of ghouls inside. Sitting at, we'll say there's a table over here. and what appears to be a ghoulish kind of like barkeep in the back. Other than that, that is it. This is a relatively, let's say, well-worn tavern, but obviously not like kicking party or anything. And these two appear to just be kind of hanging out. They have mostly full beverages in front of them, and they're just kind of chatting.
So I've been through this before. I'm trying to remember what ghouls or Darakuls typically drink. Is it just like a thing of blood or what?
So these are definitely just ghouls, not, no, you know what? What did I give them? They're ghasts. No, probably ghouls, just good. But no, there is some type of, I'm sure somewhere deep within this book, there's something that says what they drink. There is just some type of like ghoulish mead that honestly to a regular person would be fucking disgusting. I assume it's mostly like purulent drippings, kind of, it's like pussy liquid mess that falls off of meat that's sitting around, gathered up.
I'll have that.
Yeah. Corpse Cola. There we go. Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and give an inspiration to Savaris for Corpse Cola. Boom. And Janelle coming in with another 15 months. Look at that streak. For those that haven't watched, go watch Mycelium Madness. It's the first campaign that Janelle has run on our channel. It was a wonderful good time with myself and Jedi Mama and Matt and J-Bulls and a number of other people. It was a really good time. It is on our VOD. You can check us out on YouTube for that. It was good fun. And I expect her to be running more games in the future. And she runs our website, which looks amazing. So go check that out as well. She's a wonderful person. So
I'm gonna go ahead and order a Corpse Cola and from the barkeep, and kind of ask him how it needs to get to Vanderkool quickly. Is there anybody that can give us charter?
I mean, those two are sailors on the Crimson Bloater. About the only ship that's been here in a little bit.
And I saw this boat on my way in, and I've been on boats. Would I have noticed that it was a piece of crap?
You didn't get a great look at it, but it didn't look amazing to you. You're not sure it's quality from a distance, but it didn't look awesome.
Okay. So I'll say, what about the boat that just pulled in? You know anything about that?
What boat?
I don't know, boat just pulled in. It's docking.
Oh, nah. I'm sure they'll come in when they come in.
All right, I'll just kick back for a minute.
Okay. Corin, what are you up to?
Corin's just been hanging out, watching the people on the other boat. Have they done much of anything?
Still kind of wrapping up stuff. Getting things secured on the boat, moving things around, and but you also see that seems to be kind of wrapping up. Most of the Darakuul by hierarchy are kind of now just hanging out. One of them has moved up to talk with the captain and whoever this Shadow Fae appears to be. Many of the guests are kind of taking up positions now, you know, either sitting in the rigging or sitting on like a coil of rope or what you know sailors do. As some of the ghouls are still just kind of, you know, doing busy work on the ship itself.
So it doesn't look like they plan on departing the boat.
It doesn't seem like it currently, as you are looking at the boat right now. They're still in conversation, but you can only imagine that. I
mean, like, does it look like
boat?
they're mooring to, like, are they gonna be here a while, or was this just like a quick stop to drop off? Like, are they putting sails away and.
No, they seem to be like putting sails down. It doesn't seem to be like they're dropping stuff off. They're like getting the ship set up to do whatever their next business is. So you get the sense that they're not leaving anytime soon. And a lot of this is just the time it takes to. I mean, you guys have been here for maybe like 15 minutes. So it takes a lot more than 15 minutes to get a boat like parked and situated before you want to leave it.
Okay. So I see. Who's come back? Victor and Darion over here. If our plan is piracy, it might be easier to wait until maybe some of these more dangerous fellow dead have departed this boat. No reason to. We're in a hurry, but I don't know how well we'll fare if we try to take it by force.
Do you know how to sail, Corin? This boat behind me, very beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Can I tell that it's a pile of shit from 50 feet away?
It is called the Crimson Bloater.
I'm just shaking my head like.
If we do piracy, I don't know if anybody knows how to sail boat. Perhaps we bribe them, pay them for passage to Gandakuo.
So Corin, when you ask that, you catch a glimpse of Dariana's face, and she's legit like
makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, you get the sense that Victor's kind of enthusiasm for this pile of crap is misplaced.
Do any of us know how to sail a boat?
I definitely do.
Does anyone have? Isn't there a 5e stat for? No, it's not. I guess that's the animal handling. Yeah, there's boat handling.
It's like water vehicles. It's called water vehicles.
Barge management.
You fighters in your background. You get some stuff for that. Corin, why don't you? Do you want to be even or odd?
Give me odd.
All right, roll me. I don't care. Anything that's got even and odd numbers. And odd, you have sailed before and you know enough to get a boat moving and enough to direct people. Odd, you don't know nothing. Or even, you don't know anything.
No. Bummer.
So the answer is a no. You, although you've been on boats before, have never really taken the time to learn how they work or how to drive them. It would not be impossible for you to figure out how to make a boat move. There do appear to be like some oars on each of the boats. Some of the things that were like pulled in and put down for like kind of getting moving away from the dock before picking up the wind. I do believe.
Is there wind down here? We're in a.
So we have scroll also for quick getaway. Gust of wind. Yes.
So yeah, there is a wind down here. These underground caverns do have like a blow through. You do feel like kind of a breeze, especially in these bigger areas from like this air coming in through like side tunnels and the areas that you're on and things like that. You get a sense that across the water, there could be like areas from above that have like, wind coming in and down and things like that. So yes, there is enough wind to get the boat moving. It's not like the open ocean or anything with like massive amounts that'll but enough to keep it going in a direction.
And so the when you were describing to us the vampire, did he seem like a government type, like representative of like? Does this strike us as like a merchant vessel, or maybe they're on some more official business? I guess Corin's skeptical if we're gonna actually be able to buy our way onto this. I don't know if there's a price.
It doesn't quite seem government. It doesn't quite seem merchant. It seems a bit. You're not quite sure. So there is a Shadow Fae on the boat, which is interesting. You don't see a whole lot of other things as you kind of are exploring it more thoroughly from where you're at. It's not just like, oh, there's a boat there, we saw it. You're actually like looking it over, seeing what's happening on it. The boat looks to be, it's about 10 feet wide, it's about 30 feet long, carved into the side of it and much more ornately than the Crimson Bloater, which looks like someone just like kind of took a red paintbrush and splashed it on. You see the words Skin Trader. The prow
we
of
heard
the
about
boat-
that.
Oh, did you?
I think there were. I had some in some old notes.
Slave ship?
Skin. It was like yeah, like taken. It was for with the little Durgar, right? I thought the kobolds or somebody told us about the Skin Trader. It was like they took, or maybe they slaves that came to the pit on the Skin Trader. Like when we were, I'm trying to think, like when we were in the place where the fighting pit was. The last time we were near an admin building, we saw. Oh, that's right. On the table, on the desk, we saw something about Skin Trader. I think Eric saw it, maybe. Find this.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is like a
the
long
ship's
time ago. This
prow-
is like October or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Well, in game it was like 4 days ago.
Yeah.
The ship's prow appears to be a well-preserved mummified basilisk,
That's badass.
That is badass.
and it looks. Yeah, and it again. There's clearly enough space on it to hold a number of crew. You do see what appears to be a number of boxes and piles of things. From this distance, it's hard to make out, but it does appear to be holding some type of cargo. It's definitely like riding low, and there are a number of things spread out across the top deck, maybe even overflow from below. That's what you can see from this distance without investigating or getting closer or anything.
So I'm going to use I got a class feature called Know Your Enemy.
Oh, okay.
So if I spend at least 1 minute observing or interacting with another, I can just put it into Beyond. What am I doing? I can tell those things, and I'd like to tell. So you tell me whether it's equal, superior, inferior to me in 2 of my choice, and I choose. And I'm observing the vampire, the captain guy in the fancy armor, and if he's got a higher, lower total class levels and current hit points.
Okay.
For instance, I'm level 14 with 130 hit points.
All right. So, observing him, you see that he is a vampire spawn, not a vampire. So let me bring up his picture again. Vampires are a little prettier than this, but that's him.
Yeah, ugly.
You got no lips.
Yeah. Pretty,
He's like Mumra.
pretty rough. Yeah. But as far as, let me see what you get to learn here. You get to learn all of those things?
2 of my choice.
And which one did you
So,
pick?
hit points and total class levels.
And just whether it's higher or lower, pick something besides total class levels because these aren't balanced in
Okay.
that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How about armor class?
Okay. What is your AC?
19.
19. Yours is higher than his. Is that what you get to learn? That's whether it's higher or lower?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then HP, yours is higher than his.
Okay.
See, you can take him.
I'm gonna come on out of the bar.
Okay.
So we've been, I've been standing here watching this boat for 15 minutes now or so. Do I have a feeling for at least how many crew I've seen in total?
Yeah, in total on the ship, you have seen, including the Shadow Spawn or the Vampire Spawn and the Shadow Fae, you see a total of 9.
Gotcha.
What's everybody else doing? Corn is he's got his Battlemaster eyes on. He's sizing people up, kind of like puffing himself up a little, like I could fucking take that guy. Sylvester, you walked out of the bar,
Yeah.
the tavern.
So I say a couple of the guys in there appear to own that boat. Point to the shitty boat.
The Crimson Sinker.
Are you saying they will give us a ride?
I didn't even talk to him. I just talked to the barkeep, and he said that they had that boat. But I wanted to see what you were all up to before I brought him outside in case you'd already tried to steal it or something.
We had a good look at it. It very sturdily built. Right, Victor?
It reminds me of an old caravan on Ruthenian Plain. Not much to look at, but can get you where you need to go.
Do caravans float?
No, my friend. I've never
Gotta-
seen this much water in my life.
Cock the caravan and float. Board the
We are
sea.
Kariv not known for sailing. Yes.
So I'm gonna
This is
glance.
just like a caravan then.
Yes, much less like a caravan. We can't get horses to pull this.
Shit.
So I'm gonna glance over at the big boat, and they're still talking and chatting and whatever.
They're still talking and chatting and whatever. It seems to be winding down-ish.
So
I'm gonna go ahead and head over. Just walking.
Okay.
Do I notice anything as I start to approach?
Yeah, once you get to about where you're at now, all conversation on the boat stops. Everyone sitting down kind of stands up, and everyone is just kind of watching you.
Okay, I'll go to about there and stop.
Ooh. Let's do a couple more of these guys. As you start to try to come a little bit closer, a number of them just snarl and leap off the boat and just kind of charge up to you and are like kind of like in your face. And the captain from the back calls out, "Do you speak Undercommon?"
I don't know.
I don't think you do, Sly, because I had to use the languages spell tongues for us.
That was for Derek. That was for Derrickul, though. Is that what Derrickul speak is Undercommon?
If you speak Derrickul, you know enough of Undercommon. It's like speaking like different like versions. I may have been completely wrong, and I apologize in advance for this. It's kind of like speaking like Spanish, someone from like South America versus someone from Spain. Like you can understand what's being said, but dialects are a little bit different and things. If you don't speak either Derrickul or Undercommon, all you hear is this kind of like barking command from the captain, and then the Derrickul in front of you just shoves you
Oh, I speak.
and just stands the ground.
I speak Infernal.
No.
So, I kind
From
of.
behind,
I do
from
this.
behind Corin, and even from your distance, Cutter, you just hear this vampire spawn and Undercommon just be like, "Fuck off," and then the Derrickul just shoves you and stands your ground.
So I give the Derrickul that shoved me kind of like a let's not do that again. But I do this towards the captain. Just say, looking to discuss chartering your boat. And I'll take a step back.
The captain kind of like leans into the Shadowfae. The Shadowfae whispers into the captain's ear. And then you hear this, kind of again, guttural speech. You don't know what it says. And then the Derrickle in front of you just points like a off the dock kind of gesture.
The captain that whispered, and they can understand me, I believe, when I do the
You cut out a little bit. I didn't get the beginning of that. You were
sorry,
cut out.
I'm looking up. It's the Did it seem to understand what I was saying, though, the captain?
The captain did not seem to understand. But the Shadowfae seemed to understand and relay.
Okay, so I'll look back to the Shadowfae, and as I'm kind of turning and walking, and I'll say, "We can pay." And as I'm walking away, I'll say, "And if your little friend here touches me again, it'll be the last thing he ever does." And I'll slowly, and then I turn around and walk away. Because fuck
Okay.
them.
Yeah.
Either
She
they want gold or they
the
don't.
last thing you see is kind of like a smirk on her face, and she seems like she's about to talk. Then you turn away and she kind of just chuckles a little bit and crosses her arms, and then talks to the captain a little bit, and he kind of chuckles a little bit, and then they just go back. At this point, this guy, instead of sitting on the boat, you got a couple of these guys. You're just gonna come post up over here, kind of casually, like leaning, resting, but now clearly at like the halfway point of the dock, and are just kind of hanging out there now.
Okay, I'm gonna keep walking back.
As Sylvester's walking back, Victor asks him in a language he can understand, would you like ability to speak to them again, or do you think that time has passed?
No. I think we have to decide if we want to take the shitty boat or if we want to take their boat.
Do you know how to sail, Sylvester?
No, but there's two pretty despondent looking gentlemen in the bar that do.
Oh, they might enjoy opportunity to sail.
I'm sure they'd love a nice
Pretty boat. Okay, perhaps we go have a drink. Looks like this boat's kind of tying up like a horse would tie up at a hitching post. Perhaps we get drink, wait for crew. Yes. Because doesn't it kind of seems like a non-starter to kind of sit here. So Victor's just going to kind of walk, I guess, towards the tavern where you were at earlier.
Yeah, I'll go back to the tavern.
Okay. What is that? What's everybody else
Yeah,
doing?
so I kind of I kind of noticed this entire exchange from afar, and I'm gonna join them in the tavern too.
Okay.
I
Dariana, Corin.
do.
Do we have a view out the front of the tavern? Are there windows that we could keep an eye on the boat?
Sure. Why the fuck not? Around
Alright.
here, there is enough of a space. If you kind of do a little bit of one of these every now and then, you can see the skin trader from there.
Okay. I'll go into then, and I'm going to keep an eye on the boat.
Gotcha.
Yeah, me too.
So a pile of you guys all head into the bar. You see these two here, kind of like eye you, see you, like make note of your presence, and kind of going back to chatting what they were doing, still kind of sipping on their corpse cola.
Sylvester, do you think we could I know I've seen you before send drinks to other people.
Oh,
Perhaps
we're
we.
sending those two drinks for sure. And so I'll flag the barkeep to send over the two guys, or the two gas couple, whatever they were drinking.
Gotcha.
But-
Yeah, you notice when you went back in that their drinks were still like mostly full. They're not really drinking a whole lot. If you want to send two more over, that you absolutely can.
What about-
They arrive at the table.
What about food, like a shank of leg or something?
Yeah, you could absolutely do that. Yeah. If instead you want to go up and just say, you can go ahead and do that. You can mark off like a couple of silver on your sheet. And he'll go back in. A lot of what is here isn't necessarily like the freshest. So you could pay for like really fresh stuff, or you could pay for like dried stuff. It's up to you.
I'll give him something good.
Okay, so mark off like 5 silver. And they get a decent, after 10 15 minutes, maybe putting a little heat on it. They don't put heat on it. It's fucking raw human meat. He just goes back and slabs a bloody, kind of dripping piece of probably human flesh onto a plate, comes out, slides it onto their table, and kind of gives a thumbs towards you guys, and then heads back. The two guys kind of look at it, look to you guys, kind of give like a, all right. Thanks for the following, Floor Waxer. Nice screen name. And just kind of dig in.
Are we able to kind of like speak in low tones here, like not be overheard by the bartender, or is it so tight that there's no way he wouldn't hear us?
No, it's still a building, so
Okay.
you absolutely could just kind of like hunch in close and mumble, and that's how you want to be doing. That's fine.
Okay.
So,
If
Go
yes, I was going to say, if we want to, if we decide that we would like to take this ship by force, and perhaps our 2 new friends would like to captain the vessel for us, I could cast spells so all of us could walk on water to boat. Perhaps they do not all will be able to attack us from range, and then we could pick them off one by one from water. It'll be for 1 hour. We could do this.
That's an interesting idea.
Because to me, it looks like they're kind of stuck there, right? Like if they can't walk on water, we can basically kind of walk off the piece of shit boat, kind of get like within 20 or 30 feet, right? And just start picking them off, and they can figure out what they want to do. And then maybe like get like the heavies, like get me and Corin like up onto the boat, and keep the rest of them from getting onto it. Like once we kind of clear off the stronger guys.
Well, let's see if these guys know anything about this boat.
Yeah.
So,
Your golden tongue.
Gas, though, do I know? Do they speak Undercommon as well?
Yeah. If it's okay with you, Sylvester, let me give you ability to talk to them. It might be useful to understand.
Okay.
And then Victor reaches out. He says a few things in Kariv. You see him pull out this little clay ziggurat and kind of waves it in like a little triangle. And then you have the ability to understand any spoken language you hear for the next hour. And when you speak, any creature will hear and understand what you say as well.
All right. So I'm going to approach those 2. And I understand that's your boat out there.
Crimson Bloater.
And so is she seaworthy?
Well, it's not our boat. We're sailors on the boat. We're here waiting for repairs while the captain made his way to the pit.
Do you know anything about the boat that just pulled up?
Didn't see a boat.
And did we catch a name of it? Did it have a name written on
Yeah,
it?
it was the skin trader.
Oh, so I'll mention, I think the name is called the Skin Trader.
Oh. We know that boat.
Yeah?
Yeah, we don't mess with that boat.
And why is that?
Captain's mean on that boat.
Yeah. All right. How so?
Don't really know how else to say it. You don't fuck with that boat.
Is Captain the vampire or Shadowfey?
I don't know about no Shadowfey. Captain is a vampire spawn.
Interesting.
Do you know, does the captain work for somebody else?
We all work for somebody else.
But just out of curiosity, let's say something happened to the captain and the boat was free for the taking. Would you be interested in the taking? Hypothetically.
Maybe. Hypothetically. Maybe.
All right. How long till the repairs on your boat are done? Any idea?
Who knows? They haven't even started. We'll be here for a while.
All right. Thanks for your time. I'll kind of go back to the others and tell them what was discussed. But that boat's waiting on repairs. Captain's not even here. But hypothetically, if the captain of the skin trader was deposed, they might be interested in taking that boat. That reminds me. So what do you guys say? Are we gonna go kill ourselves a vampire spawn and take her boat? His boat?
So we've only been here like about a half hour at this point, like not very long. Like an hour.
At this point, with the exploration, it's probably been about an hour. It's probably been about an hour.
Have we noticed, like, basically they're just at high alert still, like just guarding that pier?
They're a little bit, I mean, you guys have been here for a little while. They're a little bit more casual. These guys, instead of like kind of pretending to lounge around, actually are lounging around. Okay. They seem to be on less high alert now, but they're just kind of like posted there at this point. But as you're kind of discussing this, after talking with the crew from the Skin Bloater, you actually see this figure kind of hop off the boat.
Which figure? Oh, okay.
The Shadowfey.
The Shadowfey.
Yeah, and she makes her way into the administration building.
Straight away to spy on them.
These can't be the only two boats around.
So Vic, he kind of says that, and Victor all of a sudden like kind of loves the sea. He looks kind of on the horizon, I guess, out the window. Do we see any other boats?
You don't.
I don't know, Qatar, but if there is other boats, how long do we have to wait for them?
So our choices are we either...
Well, good thing now the Shadowfey has departed. What was the did she kind of look like the Shadowfey that we met that was played by Janelle?
No. Janelle's character was much more, let's say, what's the word I'm looking for? Martial.
Okay.
If you will. This, she looks much more, let's say, diplomatic.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, perhaps we not while she is in the administration building, she will not become a casualty. Looking at it, we are down now to eight people. Perhaps once we get rid of Vampire Captain, if he's as big of a dick as they say, maybe the crew will change their mind. We're not sure what they think about him, other than he might be asshole.
Is that wise to go on and do killing on these docks in front of everyone? Stealing a boat?
True. I just don't, because we're a little bit on the time crunch right now, right? Because like the ritual is going to happen like in a couple days or whatever, and like we need to get to Vandercool, so there's like a little bit of time.
Can't you
Uh-oh.
charm the vampire or something?
Here we go,
Sweet talk him.
Sylvester.
Did she just walk past
She
me?
just walked right past you, buddy.
I would have stopped her and said, I didn't mean to be rude, but we are looking for charter and we can pay. Well,
She looks you up and down and she says to you, "It's not my boat and I'm sick of being near your kind," and walks past.
Dang, dude.
But everyone's an asshole.
yeah, right. And as she goes, in her head, she just hears a voice say, well, I'm sick of your kind as well. And then do vampire spawn? I would know a little bit about them.
Yeah. They're
And
the spawn of vampires.
do they have like the same typical weaknesses like running water and that type of stuff? That's weird for the captain of a boat.
Maybe that's why he's so pissed off.
Could be.
Sade's running water all the time.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm so uncomfortable.
So vampire spawn generally have a lot of the similar weaknesses. They don't like running water, but they have to physically be in running water.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't necessarily call this like dock lake area running water. First, it's not water. And second, it is kind of still. Like if a vampire jumps into like a quickly moving river, it will take a ton of damage, or even like a stream moving quickly, it will like hurt whatever part is in it. But in like stagnant water, they're definitely not a fan. They might take a little bit of damage, but they won't otherwise, necessarily be harmed. Otherwise, the weaknesses are similar, like sun, stakes, forbiddance, things like that.
Did Beatum make off with our pitcher?
Yes.
So I think it's gone.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
That would have just.
That would absolutely be running water for
Yeah.
sure.
All right.
But yeah, otherwise the Shadow Fae seems to go in. She's very, as I said, here's her picture. She is very, very well dressed, like very well dressed. She seems to be. That's exactly what she looks like, and you can take your inferences from there.
Yeah.
When she spoke to you, though, knowing that you were not part of the people she was with, though, she did keep her voice low. And it seemed to be out of like frustration and as like in passing, just kind of blowing off steam a little bit, just like kind of thing as she moved past.
And we basically just saw her walk into the tavern.
Yeah, as you guys are sitting there, you might have seen her coming around the dock as she went, but she just kind of like opens the door, kind of looks around, sees more Darrakul and ghouls, and kind of gives like and just makes her way to the bar. She asks for anything that doesn't stink of rot, and he gives her some watered down wine. And she just sits as far away from everyone as she can, and just sips on it.
Do we have any wine left, or is that all gone? We dumped that, right?
Yeah, we
Got a
don't.
barrel of Brian.
We do. We have a barrel of Brian.
Gross.
I mean, Hmm.
I'm gonna go back in.
Yeah, she doesn't even look up. She's trying to avoid kind of looking at many of you guys. And what are you doing?
I don't know yet. Any ideas?
Dariana, Dariana, do you get the sense that she is powerful like you are?
Can I tell? Other than the way she's dressed, can I like do a check?
What check would you be trying
that?
to do to determine her power?
I don't know. I guess I could do like. I probably couldn't do Arcana. Maybe our investigation.
I mean, any like things like that, you can see she's not really carrying any weapons besides maybe like a small belt knife, which it's fantasy sword and shield. Everyone's got at least a small belt knife on them. Like I said, she's incredibly well dressed. You guys don't know too much about Shadowfae. You've been on Shadow Roads. You've met some in multiple campaigns, and I always mix the two up.
Yeah, Selvin.
Yeah. They're very Selvin was a little different because she was a Shadowfae ghoul you discovered.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. She'd previously been a
Gotcha,
Shadowfae, but
gotcha.
she'd become a ghoul. How about one person roll me a history check?
Good, Jess. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Well, so you're
Started with a
the
good
one.
history.
You're the one
I
checking her
think-
out.
Yeah.
I think Dariana or Sylvester would be the most appropriate because you two are clearly the most well traveled.
I'm pretty mediocre at history, so
You would probably know the most about them though if you've had any type of extended stay in Zobek.
I lived in Zobek a long time.
There you go. So why don't you go ahead and roll that?
All right. History, you said?
Yep. Not good.
You know what though? Wait. Would this be considered a skill check?
It's totally.
Yes. Yeah. You also have an inspiration.
Is that your blue
You also
card?
have a blue
My
card.
blue
You also
card.
have.
My blue card.
Do I really only have one red card for all you guys?
Yeah, it's on me.
Nice.
So I'll use my blue card.
Okay. Your blue card is you have advantage on a skill check or an attack roll.
Yeah, so I'll just roll again.
Well, you can do the same thing with your inspiration without using your blue card if you want.
Yeah, but I can do the
Because you
same
can.
with inspiration. But inspiration has more uses.
Well, it's just a reroll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
that's fine. Whichever. If you want to use the blue card, either way, it's the same thing
That's
basically.
my blue card, 17.
Okay, much better. So you are aware that the Shadow Fae are at this point they have a complicated history in Zobek since they used to kind of run it and they were basically kind of overthrown like 80-ish years ago. And that's kind of what made Zobek the way it is now, the free city of Zobek, between some named figures in the past and things like that. The Shadow Fae at this point now have they keep trying to dig their fingers into things, but what they are a lot of the time is merchants. And they are also trying to kind of regain and re-establish power. That is kind of what Shadow Fae are. They're a minor but persistent political force in the world, primarily based out of Zobek.
Okay.
If that gives you any clue to anything.
No. But yes. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and go on up to her.
Okay. You walk over to her.
And common and well spoken, I will say, I'm not what you think I am. And then in her head, drop my voice and says, I'm not Derek. Pardon my grotesque appearance. And then I'll say, may I? And indicate the chair next to her.
She's curious. She doesn't say no.
So I will sit.
She continues to sip her watered down wine.
The wine's got to be horrible.
It's just watered wine. It's midday. I'm not trying to become intoxicated.
So obviously you're not the captain. Do you have any other ideas or suggestions on how I can get out of here?
Hey, Floor Waxer. Thank you so much for the 150 bits. What would you like to do with that? You can give someone a bless. You could give me a bane. Let me know. So thank you for the bane. So, it tells you there are plenty of ways to just walk away.
What's up with your captain?
Not my captain.
Would you like it to be your boat?
Don't want the boat down here. I want to leave this place and go back.
Well, what's keeping
And
you?
at that, she just stops.
Well, perhaps I can help you not be down here.
Don't need your help. I simply need to have this drink, refresh myself, and continue my journey.
I seem to think that there might be a way we can help each other.
Unless you can get me to Zobek right this second, I don't need your help.
I have a place in Zobek. Trying to think. We know a couple shortcuts back, right?
Yes, but you're also aware, you've been down here long enough.
Yeah. We're pretty far
Dock
away.
is next to Fretlock, which leads to Zobek. So
Yeah.
she literally, this is just like
So she knows.
on the way out.
Okay.
And you get the sense that she's saying, like,
She's leaving right now.
having a drink, getting the fuck out of here.
I mean,
Oh, well, cool. All right. Well, I say, well, enjoy your travels. I don't want to mess with her. She looks like she might be a caster, and I hate casters.
yeah. Especially if she's on her way out.
Yeah, let her leave. Then we'll take the boat. So I say, well, enjoy your watered down wine, and I'll back to my group.
Okay.
And then out the window, are they unpacking the cargo that they had, or what are they doing there?
At this point, they're mostly just kind of hanging out.
Had they already?
As you're speaking with the Shadow Fae, though, it's still kind of sitting next to her. Why don't you roll me an investigation check real quick?
Oh yeah.
Here you go. So you notice in speaking to her, kind of really up close with her, she is she's very finely dressed, but most of what she has on her is like unmarked, as in like there's no symbols for anything, something that would like denote who like specifically she is.
Mhm.
But she does have this clasp on her clothing. You get the sense that it was a oversight. It's something she probably wears as most things. and put it on with this, not really just realizing that it's kind of a giveaway. You, knowing kind of, especially with the machinations that you probably do most places, you recognize the symbol on it as a symbol of a specific section of the governance of the Shadowfae. And putting the things you can see from her demeanor, her that symbol, and where she's going and where she came from, you get the sense that this is probably an ambassador from the Shadowfae that just came from Vanderpool.
Interesting. Okay.
And with that, she finishes her drink, pushes herself away from the table, and starts to exit.
As she leaves, she just hears a voice in her head that says, "My name's Sylvester." And
stops, turns around, looks at you a little bit quizzically, kind of notes, like this little nod, and just leaves.
Okay.
And as she exits, we're going to go ahead and take a quick little break, and we'll be back.
It's cool.
Cool. See you guys soon.
Adventure Archive. We are currently on a dock on the edge of the Sulphur Sea with two boats, one seaworthy, one not, one manned, one not. And after what appeared to be a Shadowfae ambassador disembarked and then moved on her way, the party is hanging out in the Hardy Spirits Tavern, deciding on their next move. The skin trader, which seems to be the seaworthy vessel, is still currently kind of crewed, manned by a vampire spawn and his Dergul, Ghast, and Ghoul crew. And in the tavern with them is a barkeep and two sailors that are waiting for repairs on the Crimson Bloater that is currently unseaworthy. So,
A great name.
after a while, after you guys continue to discuss, the captain disembarks from the boat, makes his way to the crew members that are kind of like casually guarding the dock, and then heads into the admin building.
Favorite building.
You all see this from your perch in the corner of the Hardy Spirits Tavern through one of the windows. What would you guys like to do?
well, that semi plays with my plan. So I was going to say, my original thought was while they were all on the boat, we take position at the end of the pier, maybe cut her behind some boxes, and I drop an area spell on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Either jump off into the water or come running up the dock.
Well, we don't, and for sure, like all of us, I cast Water Walk. It's up to. Let's see here.
Oh, you already cast this?
No. I haven't. But if I do it, it's like up to 10 creatures, so I can. All of us could Water Walk, and that way we just have. As long as I cast it before we start our action, we have an hour of it, so we could all go in our different ways. Like once it's been cast, and there's no concentration on it, so.
Right.
Like meta, it gives us like a real big advantage, I would think.
Broken ass spell.
Yeah. The other thing, once we get to the boat, I was gonna try. I have a thing called Spirit Guardians, where I could have these like fiendish, like spirits that will come out within like a 15-foot radius of me, and then basically I would let them know, like, don't attack you guys, and then they will just basically kind of fight for us. Like if other creatures come into the area, their speed will get cut in half. They'll have to make saving throws or take damage. It's quite an interesting thing.
Yeah, those are all awesome, and we could use those for sure. My thought too was to just drop Sickening Radiance right on the middle of the boat,
Okay.
and then, but I wanted to get it while the captain was on board as well. Now we
Like it.
have somebody kind of behind us. Should we wait for the captain to see what the captain does, or
Right. I think we can handle the captain if he's by
I think so,
himself.
two by
Yeah.
himself? But
I guess part of it though, could you guys kind of wait, like in like one or two people wait to ambush the captain, like by the admin? So like a few of us with range stuff kind of go, we walk on water, right? We attack them, but from like range from the water, so they can't really come at us. And then when the captain comes out and is like, "What the fuck?" Then you guys hopefully get like a surprise attack on him as he walks out the door. Is that because
Seems a good a plan as any.
Dariana, you can disintegrate him. Seems like that's a pretty good thing.
I
With
might.
no dragons.
do we have any idea how many people are still on the boat?
Yeah, it should be. So she's gone. So it's 8 total. So it should be 7.
Well, but there's 3 up on the.
Yeah. So there's 4 on the boat, 3 on the dock,
Okay.
and then 1 dude in the admin. And supposedly she's gone.
Yeah, you could drop Sickening Radiance. Like, would it cover all 7?
Well, if they were all on the boat, yeah.
Oh.
Well, let me see the radiance. It's the.
I mean, it looks like it's a rock
30-foot
pier
radius.
also. So I could flame strike those 3 guys too.
We also need to not destroy the boat.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
saying like the guys
That
like
was
are on the
Yeah, I
pier.
didn't want to do any fire things on the boat.
No, I'm saying like they're like 5, 10, 15. They're like 30 feet away from the boat. So I could just center it like on them.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could run them over like with the spirit horses. That'll be cooler.
That would be cool.
Actually, where they're lined up right now, I could just send, because it's 10 feet wide, I could just go bowling.
Okay. How about I drop Sickening Radiance on the boat,
Okay.
and then if they run off the deck onto the dock, then you get ready and you charge them.
Yeah, and because the thing is, I don't have to be lined up even with it. I just have to be 30 feet away from wherever I want it to start.
Right. So just go straight.
So I would just stand in the
dock.
water basically, and then drop it at the end of the pier.
Okay. Let's go kill some people.
Okay. All right. If everybody's good with that, Victor pulls out a piece of cork, and then he starts whispering in Kariv.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, knowing that, Corin, you and I are from around here, is just fucking going all out battle in the middle of this dock, is that like day in the life of the Underdark? Because that's what I'm saying. Like what?
We need a boat.
I know, but like, okay. It just
Any idea
it just
how many
seems like out of
administrators-
place is all fucked. to me.
Ariana, how many people did you see inside the admin building?
Good question.
Hmm.
Brian?
2.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
You could drop Sickening Radiance inside there instead. I mean,
Just-
that's
So here's the thing, and that I mean, Cora knows a little bit more, I guess, is that violence is part of the Ghoul Imperium. Power is part of the Ghoul Imperium. Ghouls are not drow. They are not necessarily the best schemers. Derakul are smarter, but many are not. Power is power, and power works. So would a random battle down here in the Imperium be necessarily out of place? Not necessarily. If a ghoul patrol happens to be going by at some point, they're probably gonna step in.
I
but
just
it
I just wanted to
just-
get a sense because I'm
Yeah.
thinking about like, hey, we're hanging out in a city, right? Up top.
Right.
You don't just fucking like
This is like a
you
little
know,
port.
and I
though.
get we're like evil
I-
and this and that, but
yeah,
that's all I'm
I
just
would-
wanted to clarify.
You know,
Yeah, I
Sylvester,
would
this is
say-
normally discreet. This is normally not.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This isn't like a hey,
I would
we're
say, as an overarching vibe, the Imperium is a much more violent place than like Zobek.
Got
So
it.
if you just like murder someone on a dock in Zobek, it's not going to be a good time. But if you happen to murder someone on a dock here, especially someone powerful,
It's like Florida.
I mean, some people, yeah, it's like Florida.
It's like Florida. All right.
It's,
Sounds Floridian.
Yeah.
Now it all makes sense.
But also,
Sorry,
it would
Lord.
look like ghoul
Violent.
on ghoul violence,
Yeah.
right? Like even if a patrol came, the patrol would have to sort out what the hell was going on, anyways.
I just
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
see
yeah,
like
yeah.
what kind of semblance of order existed in this place, you know, versus
I would
like,
say
all
that
out
the
just
semblance of
fucking
order
war.
here, yeah, I would say it's not all out war. There is a government, but I would say it's much more violent than like other places. And I would say like if someone less powerful defeated someone more powerful in like a brawl on the streets, I think some people in the city might not be a big fan because they might have been allied to that powerful person, but other people in the city would be like, wow, they defeated a powerful person. They are powerful. And it would kind of go from there. So it's not like all
Gotcha.
out,
Okay.
whatever, like street warfare.
I just
But-
I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
before we just went like ape shit in the middle of this dockside
Yeah.
town area. So
I mean, there is an administration building here. I mean, there is possibility of calling for like patrols and reinforcements and stuff like that. It just really depends on what you're trying to do. But would random combat necessarily be 100% like out of place and not okay in the Imperium? No, I would not say that that's a true statement at all.
okay.
Time to go ham.
And then Victor's also got he's kind of got the necklace also. Like so what he'd like to do also is like once we get the water walk triggered, he wants to try one of these bless beads on his necklace, and it would bless up to 3 creatures, and for a minute, whenever those creatures made attack rolls or saving throws, they could add the D4. So it's like a full minute of blesses, basically, is what the spell is. And so I would guess I would do that for, but I guess, because you're going to do more control stuff, Sylvester, so I'll put it on Cutter and Corin and on Dariana. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay, so he pulls out the cork. He starts, whispering in Kariv, makes a couple hand gestures. It's going to grant us the ability to walk across this sulfur sea as if it were harmless, solid ground. All of us will be able to do it, up to 10 creatures. And that'll be that. And so I cast it on us. You'll kind of feel like not quite anything yet because we're not really in water. But like I'll kind of indicate to you that we can essentially kind of step off the pier. And I'm hoping maybe there's if the pier is like pretty high up, maybe there's like a ladder or something like that that can get us down to the water.
And you guys are just
And-
hoping this crew is going to be like, all right, we're cool.
Well, I mean, we'll figure that out after, right? Like they're inside drinking.
gotcha.
Oh, yeah. So, and while he was casting the water walk, I'm recalling Annie.
And I know we definitely don't want Brian because of all the water. So can't use him. And then once you guys step outside, I'll put the bless on you. That'll kind of kick it off for like 1 minute.
So, consensus here. Do you want me to drop the Sickening Radiance on the boat or on the admin building?
I think it's your call. Is it because it's a concentration thing, right? Because with the boat, maybe you drive the guys off of the boat. Which
yeah,
would
it
be pretty
is
good.
concentration.
So
I will say, and again, Corin would probably know this the most because he's been here the most. More information based on the previous question: is violence kind of a thing? I would say that violence against government officials and violence
Yeah.
against other Darrickville citizens would be a little bit different.
Valid. Okay.
It's a
Good point.
boat.
But murder who you want if there's no witnesses. There's no witnesses.
I can bar the door.
It's not a bad idea. let's do that on our way to the place. So I'm gonna walk out. Oh, and on my way out, I'm gonna tell the 2 guys there. I'm like, sit tight. I'm gonna go inquire about getting you a new boat, and then I'm gonna walk out.
Nice.
And
Okay.
And then while Dariana and Corin and Cutter are within 30 feet of me, I, again, like say a few words in Kariv, and then they get blessed for the next minute.
And I'm gonna ask Victor if I could possibly use his dagger.
He hands the dagger over to her, the ornate dagger, and I'll take 1 hit point of damage.
Okay, and I'll cut his hand and do some blood armor.
So you, on this dock, cut your friend's hand and are now coated in blood.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right.
And I'll throw bless up into the chat there, just so you guys remember.
Crimson bloater.
The
Here
bloater.
she comes.
She's the bloater.
with the admin building, is there a way? What type of handle? Is there a way to barricade this door, or is it something as simple as putting a chair up against it, or does it open in or out, or?
It's a double door situation that opens in.
Could I use telekinesis to hold it? To grip it closed?
How could you throw telekinesis into chat? Does a spell give you enough, like, kind of force to do that? Oh, fuck. All right.
It
words.
says
Here's your novel.
you can try to move an object that weighs up to 1,000 pounds. I think I can
Fuck.
exert fine control of objects like kinetic or telekinetic grip and manipulating a simple tool, opening a door, container.
Fuck yeah.
So
Yeah, 1,000 pounds? You could easily. I mean, it's concentration.
if I can open a door, I imagine I can just like try to keep it closed.
Yeah, absolutely. And your blood armor is not concentration, right? It just goes and has an effect for a period of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I would say you could do the doors. Yeah, I mean there are windows.
I've got Annie by the
Yeah, that's
window that Dariana first looked through on the side
Okay.
here, right over there.
Okay.
I just got her kind of keeping an eye there. And then I don't know if you guys want to take positions somewhere, but I'm gonna go ahead and drop sickening radius on the boat.
Okay. I'll try to bar the doors with telekinesis then.
Okay, so the doors are telekinetically closed, and you are under concentration right now.
Okay.
So we're gonna give you some. Let's give you some. Let's put that one. So we're gonna give you a pink dot for concentration,
And
so
that's
that you know if you take damage or something like that, you gotta do a concentration check.
Yep.
You are covered in blood. So as you walk out and then suddenly become coated in blood, these guys, at least one of them, sees you guys leaving the tavern, moving in a direction. One of you becomes covered in blood. They seem to not. They're not gonna be surprised by any of this. Is what I'm saying. At least these guys do. These guys are just kind of lounging.
That's- I'm making my way to the other boat.
To the bloater. Okay. All right.
And
These
Victor
guys
is
kind
kind of
of stood up.
And I'm waving to the guy that like got in my face.
Okay.
And
I could be
you guys wave when you're ready. I'll drop it.
and Ryan, is it not a big deal to get from the dock to the water? I'm not sure like what the height difference is there.
I mean, it's a dock and it's water. It's probably a good, like, it's not like there's like high tide and low tide down here necessarily. So it's probably a good like 4 to 5 feet.
Okay, so yeah, so Victor's gonna kind of just like find a place where there's maybe like a little ladder or something like that to hold on to, and they're already seeing the blood and everything and the weirdness, and so he's just gonna
Yeah.
take a step down right to there.
That surprises them. You just kind of
Yeah.
like drop off and start walking on the water.
Yep.
So,
Okay, as soon as he does that, I'm dropping Sickening Radiance.
okay.
Yeah.
Why doesn't everybody roll for initiative? But you, Sylvester, don't need to do that. We're saying that your action starts initiative.
Okay.
So you'll just start at the top. So, see if I cleared everybody else out first. So we got a Corin, a Dariana, a Cutter, and a Victor. I'm just going to do an add turn for you. And we'll just put you at like 30. Do you want to roll for Annie? And then I'm gonna go ahead and roll for some of these other guys. We'll do let's go ahead and pop that out. So will be an 18. I'm gonna separate these guys into basically just two groups. Corin, Dariana, Cutter, Victor, Sylvester, still looking for Annie.
Dang, he got a 30
Oh.
on his initiative?
Oh, Sylvester? No, I just put him first,
Oh.
so I can just make it to 20. And
All right. Annie. $19 for Annie. That's Annie's. I clicked on her, but
or I can do an add turn. And she's gonna get a 19, so that's everybody, right? So let's put this in descending order. Sylvester, you just went first, and then it'll be Andy. Some bad guys, Cutter, Dariana, Corin, some bad guys, and Victor bringing up the rear. So someone's got like an open mic situation when it's coming through.
that might
Oh, Janelle dropped some more on 87% for Gamma World. So you guys are all walking out of the tavern nonchalantly until Dariana coats herself in blood and, unseen to everybody else, casts telekinesis on this door. And it is currently held shut by your telekinetic grip. As that happens, Victor just steps off the dock, drops kind of 4 feet down on the water, and it's just kind of casually starting to walk out onto the Sulphur Sea. All of these guys kind of perk up. And as Sylvester gets to the prow of the Crimson Bloater, kind of gives a wave to the Daracool that shoved him earlier, and then drops Sickening Radiance. Where are you dropping it? And put it in the VTT so I can put a radius on it. And what is the radius for Sickening Radiance? Do you want to put the whole like spell description in?
yeah, sorry.
So, dim greenish light spreads within a
Huge.
30-foot radius sphere. Centered on a point you choose within range, the light spreads around corners and it lasts until the spell. So 30-foot radius.
It's humongous.
Radius is that across the whole thing, or is that from
No.
middle to end?
It's from the middle to the edge.
So it's
I
literally
understand.
30 feet.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
30
60 total feet across.
Correct.
Okay. So where? Fuck, that's a big space.
That's huge.
Right
We
there.
are going to draw
Like
a
the
circle.
boat on most of the dock.
I think if you put it on the boat, then it'll get those guys still too.
Well, I'm gonna get on the dock. Yeah,
Because
fine.
we want to be able to kind of get towards them too a little bit.
Not quite. I'm gonna do it about 10 feet off the boat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like right in here.
And do we see like green? I guess, huh? Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so that is it. And can you click on where you're going to center it?
Right there.
Oh, it's like
So
damn.
you're going to hit it right there.
Victor got a close shave.
Yep. No.
That's
He just drew
awesome.
the circle. He hadn't dropped it yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so suddenly, as you're waving at this Daracool, the Daracool kind of looks at you and kind of just gives you one of these. And then, boom, you reach out and drop this dim greenish light that just fills this space. And everybody needs to do a Constitution saving throw or take 4d10 radiant damage. Okay. So Constitution-wise, let me grab a couple more.
Probably
So
good.
that's the one. Let me grab this guy too, and then. Do I not have a ghast? Okay, I can pull a ghast from the regular SRD. All right, so I'm gonna do constitutions on all of these guys. So let's start with the two Daracool. Their constitution. +2, so that's 2 of those guys. So we'll do the one on the left first. Big fail. One on the right. Big fail. And then I will do the 3 ghasts. What kind of damage is this? Oh, radiant? Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. Great.
They do not have any constitution, so that'll be, we'll do top one here. That will be a fail. The next one will be a fail. The third one up with the rest of the people will be a fail. Fuck. Oh no, those are ghouls. It doesn't make a difference. I don't think they have any either, because there's only one ghast out there. And ghouls have no con either, so last guy over here. Everybody fails. The entire crew failed.
Oh yeah.
Let's switch this up to a different one.
Awesome. So they'll take, I think, a 21 points of damage and a level of exhaustion.
That's awesome.
And they're emitting a dim greenish light.
I got the ghoul stank.
Well, if they jump in water, we can still kind of see them.
Oh, they sink.
I like those glow lures.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's great.
The catfish.
Trying to switch up the music a bit. Ha, I like that one. Okay. All right, so they all take 21 points of damage. Fuck. All right. Minus 21. Minus 21. Minus 21. Minus 21. When that light hits, you see at least all of the kind of like low level ghouls are rocked by it. And they are barely standing on their feet, literally rocking as this green light just kind of flashed through all of them. And that's just like, is that a one and done or does it stay up?
Last 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So every
Every
round that
turn.
happens?
Well, they have to take. It looks like
Yeah.
They-
End their if they end
So,
their turn.
if they end their turn in the area.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So you reach out and drop that, and this flash of light fills this space. The light kind of radiating from the light off of this kind of fills the whole cavernous area, stretches across the Sulphur Sea, hits through some of these windows. And as that happens, you hear some kind of like pulling behind you, like the doors rattling to the to the admin building, but they are unable to go. Annie, thank you for the follow, Plasma Spartan. So what is Annie doing?
So Annie's looking through the window where I positioned her. Who's pulling at the door?
It looks like the captain is pulling at the door.
So she's not doing anything, but she's going to let Dariana know who's pulling at the door.
Okay.
And she's just keeping an eye. She's going to ready a spine attack. And she's just waiting for the captain to actually get outside.
Okay, so from where she's at now, it would either need to come out the window because you can't ready a move. So it would have to be within her line of sight. Do you want to put her to a different position, try to be able to see all the spaces first and then ready it? Or do you want to keep her at the window?
I'm going to keep her at the window. If it comes towards the window, she's ready.
Gotcha. Okay. Also, thank you for the follow, Non-Dirty Socks. So, all right. If she gets a sight on Captain and is able to fire off the spines, she's got that. Okay. It is these three guys' turn. So this radiance strikes them, almost putting this first guy down right away. They can see you over there waving before that happens. They see this. Clearly, it's you guys making a move. This guy is going to leap up and start racing around the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this didn't take off the space. So again, they all have health bars, so you can see what's happening. Yeah, that's as far as that can go. Ghoul is going to do the same thing because he's not going to dash right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They all kind of leap. They more so, instead of running towards you, fleeing this light. So as they escape it and kind of turn around, they see it overwhelming half the dock, overwhelming half the ship, and then kind of look towards you and snarl again, ready to continue towards you. Cutter, you are up as these three burst out of this radiance.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ready an action. I'm going to ready a bow or an arrow for the second one of these guys gets within 5 feet of Victor or Corin.
Okay. So Victor is actually off the dock.
I'm down below.
Water.
I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
you're
on
on the
the water.
water. Okay.
So they would have to like hop off to get to him now because he's a distance down from him.
Gotcha.
But if you want to say towards Corin, same exact thing. That's
yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to hold my ground and just wait
fine. Okay.
with an arrow knocked.
Gotcha. And you don't want to shoot one now. You want to wait until they get
Yeah,
closer.
I'm going to wait just because my damage sucks until I get sneak attack.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha. Okay, so you, from the dock, now have this arrow knocked, ready, waiting for them to
Yeah,
charge
just
towards
kind
you.
of kneeling
Dariana,
on the stone, yeah.
gotcha. Coated in blood, down here on this dock next to Cutter, still telekinetically gripping onto the door. What are you doing?
I mean, I think I'll just keep gripping onto the door. I don't think I can do anything else, right?
You can do non-concentration spells and stuff.
Oh, I can. Okay.
Yeah. If it doesn't take concentration, you can cast it. It's just if you have, you'll drop a concentration spell if you cast another non-concentration spell.
Cool. Okay, then I will firebolt. And I will twin it and cast it at the two guys closest to us. So let's see.
Are you talking about like this guy and like, do you want to go with the Derricool or the one? I guess those are the two you could see.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, the two I can see.
So when you twin, do you roll 2 different attack spells?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
that's
so
the
first
first
one
guy.
on. Yeah, so this guy.
And do I have blesses?
It looks
You-
like
You have bless for a
one.
minute,
Oh, I have
Jess.
one. Oh, I have a
So-
bless. for a
Oh
minute.
yeah, don't
Jess,
forget
so-
everyone's got the D4.
Yeah, so
I should probably
Jess,
use that.
Cutter, and Corin have D4, but not me or Slack.
Let's.
Okay, I'll use it on this
let
next
me
one then.
let me.
Like, it's
do
just
something
every
real
round,
quick.
Jess. Any save, any attack, roll.
Okay.
Let me do something real quick for you guys. Well, we are back. We'll just have to link those together.
Yeah, I can do that.
So yeah, hashtag blessed. There you go.
I like our hashtag. What is that? It's like a.
Oh, I changed it. Did it not? I changed the font. Oh, I need to get out of the fucking text font. There you
There we
go.
go.
Does that look different now?
Yeah.
There
Perfect.
you go. Hashtag blessed.
So we have blesses. Okay.
Yeah, don't forget to use your hashtag blessed from Victor on everything. So, Dariana is twinning. So she hits the first guy for 14 damage, rocks him. He is scorched, literally takes off his lower jaw and tongue that's hanging out, hanging on by a thread.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And I'm blessing it. What do I get?
Yeah. For the auto blast. So that's a 22 to hit. And are you going for the second guy now?
I mean, if I'm able to choose and see like that guy is still hanging on, I think I'd just kill him. But if I can't choose, and okay, I'll just finish this guy then, I guess.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah. So this guy gets hit by one, barely stays on his feet, is completely torched. The smell of burning flesh immediately permeates the air, and just as he's able to open his eyes back up again and look forward, Fireball strikes him in the face, and he drops straight to the ground. Are you doing anything else?
No.
Okay. Corin, 2 firebolts race past you down the dock. The first guy drops. What are you doing?
Corin's running right after those firebolts.
Okay, go for it.
He's gonna step up here into range and attack the one directly in front of him.
Cool. Don't forget to add a D4. Cool.
Oh yeah,
The 22
You got it.
will hit. Yeah.
Corpse Slayer.
13 points of damage. And
then-
does the glaive do anything special? There it is. That's an extra D6 because he's undead.
An extra D8 because he's undead.
Nice.
Gotcha. So that's 19 points of damage on this guy. So as he's kind of shielding his face from these 2 firebolt that just disintegrated his buddy, you're racing right behind, and this pole arm just slices down into him. Are you doing anything else?
Yeah, I'll keep take more attacks.
All right. Is that your 2 hit, the 13?
Yes, roll a D4. Does a 15 hit?
So 15, it does not. He's able to dodge out of the way. As you try to raise it back up and strike down again, he dodges and it just clanks into the dot.
Okay.
And a third attack, an 18, as you spin around and strike again, will hit him.
There we go.
For an
Another 12
additional
points.
12 points. Okay. You fucked that guy up. He's not looking good. All right. Is that all you're doing?
Yeah, let me see. How much movement did I use? 5, 10. The door's like right here, right?
The door's like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like these 2 squares right here.
I'm gonna take a 5. I'm gonna step back 5 feet.
Okay. All right. It is the guys on the boat's turn. And they are going to leap off the boat. They're going to leap off the boat. Let me grab their stats again, make sure they all have 30 feet, 30 feet, 30 feet. And they are going to just dash out of this. Who's on the boat? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. That's as far as he's going to go and just get out of the light. And as soon as he's out, he's just doing like this, like running out. He just like drops and like, except I don't think ghouls need to breathe. But anyway,
That big tongue.
this guy races out. This guy, 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Yeah, he's able to get out. This guy, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Yeah, and he's going to get to there too. And they all just like race out of this light and look back at this.
Does the level of exhaustion reduce their speed at all?
Oh, fuck. I don't. Everybody has one level of exhaustion. So I think the initial level of exhaustion is just disadvantage on ability checks. So it's a second level of exhaustion would have their speed halved. And then the third level exhaustion is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. So if they try to do any ability checks at all, like grappling and shit like that, they would have disadvantage on all of that. So, but you successfully drove everybody off of the boat. And that is the extent that they can do on their turn. They all dashed for those actions. So Victor, as you're kind of walking on the Sulphur Sea, and they are all kind of at the end of this first dock, Corin standing in front of them, what are you doing?
Yeah, Victor's loving this. So he walks about 10 feet just to see what looks like kind of a Ruthenian bowling alley. And he's going to set up the sudden stampede like right here so that everybody, so his friends will see the horses kind of run out of the green light and hit all 6 of these guys, hopefully. So I'll go ahead and throw it up in the chat here. Spells.
Awesome.
Sudden stampede. Boom. So this one's going to be saves for all these guys. The DC 17 dex saves. If they don't save, they take 35 points damage and are prone. And if they do save, they'll take 17 points of damage.
Okay, so we'll do these 3 guys with the meat in their mouth first. They're ghouls. They get a +2. We'll
And
go
are
left
these
to
the
right.
ability checks that they have disadvantage on or no?
Is this a save or a check?
It's a dex save.
Right, so it's a save.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
yeah. So no, they don't have advantage on dex saves. Not resistant to any of all of that. So those 3 ghouls. First one gets a 12. Second one gets a 16. Third one gets a 13. So all 3 of these guys fail. The ghoul, the ghast, has a +3. He fails, and then the Darecool has +3 as well. So those 2 guys.
Oh yeah.
Fuck. Everyone has failed every save every
Cool.
time. So
So-
every single one of these guys has failed.
Yeah, it's like at the bowling alley when the turkey symbol kind of pops up, and they're all prone, and they all took 35 points of damage.
So describe this whole situation to me.
Yeah, so when Victor reaches out and you hear him kind of like a little louder now in Kariv, and he waves his hand across, and you guys have seen this before, and kind of this dark smoke comes out of his fingers, and in the green light, you hear kind of like the neighing of some fey horses, and then they manifest, and all of a sudden there's just like a ton of horses kind of gallop down the pier. They kind of kick those boxes and stuff over, and then the first line of guys, I guess because they're not even looking, they hear it kind of first, and then they look back, and then these horses just run all of them over, and then just head right down the alleyway and disappear after about 60 feet on the other side of the admin
Nice.
building.
And you said how much damage? 30.
35, and they're all prone.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
pretty good spell.
That's a pretty good spell. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. You you kind of took out just about everybody.
Digging it.
Nice.
And then I will say that this guy inside, all most of you hear is the sound of breaking glass.
Oh,
Wait a second. Sylvester, Eric / Annie. Do you want your window to be even or odd?
Odd.
Okay. So on a 1, he is going to run towards your window. On an even, he's going to run towards the other window. Like, I'm shaking the doors, just picking a window.
okay.
So he lets go of the doors and starts racing towards your window, and literally just like the first Matrix with Trinity when she like just does that thing. He leaps out the window. So we'll say he's here. 5, 10, 15, through the window, 20. And right as he lands, he rolls and then spikes to the face. Why don't you roll that attack for me?
So the ready to attack, did she get both of her attacks or just one?
I think it's 1.
Okay, so 18 to hit for 8 points of damage.
So yeah, so 18 hits, and he takes 8 points of damage. So right as he stands, he gets these spikes right into the face as he gets up from his roll. He still has 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5 feet of movement. Looks around, kind of surveys the area quick, sees Annie, and is going to lash out at Annie. I don't need this anymore because you're dead. I don't need this anymore because you're dead. So let's look up the vampire spawn. Pop that out, and let's see what kind of attack I get. So that is going to be a claw attack. It lashes out towards you. That'll be a 25 to hit.
That is.
Could you roll me a... Nah, we'll just do the damage. That'll be 9 damage as
type
it
of
claws
damage?
across Annie.
What type of damage is it?
It's just it's slashing.
Okay, she has resistance to slashing.
Oh,
Nice.
half it. Yeah. But he does that in passing as he kind of like runs out to the alley. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's as far, well, no, that's as far as he can go. So we'll go ahead and just do another attack. 16 to hit her.
Yep.
That'll be an additional, we'll just tap it to 3 points of damage. As he runs out and just kind of like does one of these and looks around and sees everybody, sees his crew down, sees this light covering his ship, and he just kind of like screams out. So we'll turn him, and we'll give him a 3. And go descending order, and we'll just go back to Sylvester. The other thing that you see is, well, you don't see it. None of you see it. But what happens is there is actually a like space, this kind of like deck on the top. With this door, one of the Imperial ghouls goes back to the stairs pulls it down, walks up, and is now standing up on top of this deck, looking out over everything, seeing what's happening. And it's Sylvester's turn.
Okay, so I was gonna kill the last guy. Yeah, I'm gonna
that's
go
an
ahead
easy-
and hit the last guy over here with an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
There we are. So 23 to hit for 15.
Yeah, that'll absolutely hit. Still on his feet, just barely. You can see his,
So here comes
his
number
little.
22 to hit for 6.
And as he is standing over and around all of his dead crew members, that second Eldritch Blast just rocks him and actually tips him back into the water. And he lands on top of the sulfur sea with kind of a splat and then like sinks down into it.
And that last one was for Mr. Vampire. Spawn.
Gotcha. So 1, 2, 3. 25 absolutely hits, and we'll take 9 points off of that guy.
And I'll
Make sure he doesn't have any. Ooh, what kind of damage is that? It's force damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Cool. So yeah. So is that what you're doing?
Yeah, and I'll yell out, your entire crew's dead. Do you want to keep this fight going?
He just snarls and rages. And are you speaking in common?
Yeah.
Blah 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 is what he hears.
What's weird
Um,
though is that because Tongues is on Eric,
Oh, that's right.
he'll understand him anyways. It doesn't matter
Oh,
what
the
Eric
other guy
says.
will understand?
Yeah, because it's Tongues.
Gotcha. Yeah, he just, it seems to enrage him more than anything. At this point, he seems
Okay.
negotiable.
Cool.
Annie.
Oh, and he's gonna tail spike him again.
There you go. What's her total HP?
Her total HP is 22.
And how much damage has she taken?
7.
Total of 7. So she's at 15. Okay. I'm just gonna know that for her green bar. Okay, so tail spike this guy.
So 21 to hit.
21 will hit, absolutely.
So 4 points of damage.
Okay. Now what kind of damage? This is slashing?
This is the first is piercing. So it's 3 points of piercing and then 1 point of fire.
So I'll say this is a non-magical attack. So is that in? My thing just has like a blank bar, or it just has a bar that says Sylvester on it. Maybe I'll have to wait for the next roll. So you said 4 and 1, right? So he'll take a total of 3 damage for that.
That's all I see too.
Oh, really? I rolled it. 21 and 3 and 1. You guys don't see that part?
Yeah, it's weird. Maybe it'll come up the next time it's rolled. That's it for the first attack. Does she get a second one?
Yep. And here it comes. And
There it
that's
comes. There it is.
It's a 19 to hit.
19 will definitely hit.
4 piercing, 5 fire.
So that will be a total of 7 points of damage.
Okay. And then she.
So now it literally has these like spines just like sticking out of him from all these times that she's hit, and he just kind of goes like this and like knocks them all out, like arrows from a shield or something like that.
Huh. She's gonna stand her ground and just snarl at him.
Okay. Oh, this guy's dead. We can get rid of you. This guy's dead. We can get rid of you. So it is Cutter.
I guess I'm just gonna let off the arrow I have knocked on this guy, because everybody else is dead.
Okay. Well, you do have Annie right next to him too, and she's considered an
Yeah,
ally.
exactly.
Oh, there we go.
So you get the sneak attack. Yeah, hell yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Where's my short bow?
Oh, you know what?
and then
For,
bless. What?
okay, yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna bane that because our floor waxer here gave a bane he would like me to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and
All right, let's see what you get.
slash roll 1d4. Ooh,
Okay,
so you
so
only get a
plus
+2
2.
on that. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
12 is gonna miss.
Oof.
What about a 14?
Oh, a 14 will also miss.
God damn it. All right, I'm done.
I'll say a 15 would have hit though. So
Ah.
floor waxer, good job. Way to have that bane. All right, Corin.
Hey, you got mixed up because Dariana went before me on the last round.
Oh, I think when you guys both got the same thing, and it just kind of. So yeah, so Dariana.
Let's see. I think. Okay, I'm gonna move back. Like there. No, like here. And I am going to, I'm gonna twin firebolt again, but this time just at the captain.
Okay.
And I can I still bless it, or
They're
is
both
that done?
blessed. Yeah,
They're
they're
both
two
blessed.
It's
separate.
all
two
blessed.
separate
Yeah,
blessed.
your hashtag blessed from the thing he cast.
Okay. I think I'll
So roll your
probably need
d4
it.
to hit. Yeah. Absolutely. So that first one hits for 15 damage.
Okay.
I'll make sure he's not resistant to any of that shit. No, he's not. So 15 damage. Dang. Yeah. And another 18 damage. This guy's barely going to be able to go. Yeah. Yeah, 28 hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, no worries. And is that it? So arrow flies and misses, spines hit, fire bolts like strike this guy. He's just getting like wrecked from all angles. Corin, you're up.
He's shimmying.
Yeah, he's doing the shimmy. It's that slow motion, like too many bullets thing that's like before it like falls.
Gotcha.
Corin.
So after he felt really cool attacking that guy, and he's like, "Man, that was great," and then sees them just get murked by a stampeding, a stampede of glowing horses. He's like, "All right, well." Just taking some levels in caster, and is, I guess that's kind of around the corner. So I'm gonna step into 5 foot.
Can you flank him?
What?
I don't know how much space you have.
No, he doesn't have the distance to go there.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
So you about face in your armor with your pole arm, race towards him again, and what are you doing?
Yeah, just, you know what, actually going to use superiority die and go low and try to knock him off his feet.
Nice.
Okay.
Right on.
So, that's not right. Display. There we go.
Uh, 18 to hit. Oh, trip attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend one superiority die to attempt to knock the target down. You add superiority die to the attack's damage roll. If the target is larger or smaller, it must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, you knock the target prone. Okay, so you do 5 damage because you definitely hit.
And yeah,
Oh no, that's the roll that you did for the maneuver. So it's 19 damage.
25.
25.
25 damage.
Oof.
But it's slashing if he's resistant. It's all slashing.
And is Corpse Slayer a magical weapon?
It is.
Well, then it doesn't fucking matter. As you run towards this guy, I mean, I guess you're trying to trip him up, but you don't even worry about that because you just slice this guy fucking down, and it doesn't.
I got, that's what it was. Corden was going for a trip, but he didn't hike up far enough on the halberd and just lops him off at the knees.
There you go. Yeah, just right out. You tripped the life right out of him. Is what happened. He cannot regenerate because it didn't get back to his turn. He has 0 hit points. This guy's fucking dead.
All right, so I'm gonna wave to the guy on the roof. Do I see him?
You do. Yeah.
And they can understand me because of tongues, right?
Right.
I'll say, sorry for the disturbance. They stole our cargo. And that's all I say. And then I'm going to walk into the bar and get the guys in there. Say, hey, got you a ship.
Are the doors still telekinetically closed?
Wrong place.
Oh.
I wasn't going into that place.
I know, I'm just asking. Yeah.
Nah, I probably dropped it.
Okay. All right.
Unless I feel the need for them to be closed.
No. Are you keeping the radiant light up?
I haven't dropped it yet.
Okay. So these guys you didn't even, like, the one literally is like window open, hanging out like this the whole time. And the other guy literally has like the door open, like hanging out with there. And you see like the barkeep's head also like peek out and like kind of go back in. So even as you get close to the bar, you see these guys and they're just like one of these. So.
Boat?
They look at you, they look at what happened, and the one kind of like nudges the other one, and he's like, so what's it pay?
You get to keep the boat.
All right, let's fucking do it. You only live twice, right?
Are the guys that came out of the door, like, do they seem like we need to bribe them or something like that? Or do they care?
So they're standing there, one with a clipboard. What are you doing?
So I'll drop the radiance now. And I don't know, I'm walking to my boat. My guys.
Oh man, did you yolt in the chat? Fuck.
What is it, Yolt?
You only live twice.
Yolt in the
I got it. I was like, is this
great.
young person lingo?
I feel like that's a t-shirt.
It's the ghoul
Yeah.
hipsters.
Yeah. So as you walk by, the one with the clipboard is kind of looking at like a blank form, and he says to you, "Sir, there is a non-witness fee."
Well, of course there is. Who's
I've got
a-
money, but how much is the fee?
He just holds a hand out.
I don't know what I have actually on me. Hold on, because I don't want to be digging into the bag. and
Yeah.
these people. So let me see. Hold on. Let me go to my character sheet. Inventory. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm gonna drop him 20 gold.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just
Um,
shut up.
He just looks at it and says, still might have seen something.
I'm gonna look back at him. Are you sure you saw something?
Did the vampire have any kind of magical weapons or anything on him? Maybe we could give him his gear.
I'll drop him another 10.
My memory's getting a little foggy.
Hold on. Let's see. Oh,
Just break his heart.
well, I'm considering that.
No, but we don't want to mess with the admin.
Well, if there's no
There's no
witness,
witnesses. It's just a bunch of dead guys.
right?
Double dead guys.
Shadow.
I mean, you're also not aware if there is
Yeah.
portals, like messenger spells, scrolls that can be used, things like that.
Yeah. So I've given him 30.
Mhm.
I'll double up, give him a whole nother 30. So that's a total of 60.
He closes his fist on it, looks at the other guy, and says, "Uneventful day, huh?" And the guy says, "Yep." And they turn around and walk into the building.
Nice.
Okay,
I love bureaucracy.
I gotta. Hold on. So I got to do a lot of clicking.
Victor is just looking at this boat that actually has like a deck and actually has like a sail that's not rotting. And he can't believe his eyes.
So impressed.
He's so impressed. He's like, if that other one was good, as
What's
good
the
as I
name?
thought it
What's
was,
the name of
must
this one
be."
again?
It's the
The
Skin Trader.
Trader.
Totally sounds like
Skin Trader.
something out of Vegas.
Did somebody check the vampire spawn?
Trader
Oh, because
Joe's.
he's a vampire.
Yeah, I would have searched him after I lopped him in half.
Nothing crazy, nothing crazy magical. He's got armor, weapons, nothing better than anything you currently have.
Do you have any like paperwork, signets, something that identifies him?
We should
what
probably
he's up
throw all
to.
these guys in the water, though. Yeah.
There is a manifest that he has on his person. It looks like just official bureaucratic paperwork. It lists the things that are on the vessel, though.
That's what.
And what's listed on it, it is tanned hides from exotic underworld lizards, humanoids, and strange rubbery creatures. The Skin Trader is a hide
As described, what it says on
merchant
the
cargo
tin.
ship.
It's not
Literally
just a clever
what
name.
it says. You do also, though, find what appears to be a quickly scrawled missive. It is unsigned, but it does reference returning the Shadowfae ambassador unharmed to the dock outside of Fretlock.
Does it give her name?
It does not.
Does it-
It seems to
Shadowfae.
be descriptions. Yeah, it says the ambassador is what it says. You can assume that that the note means the ambassador. And it does say that pay will be provided upon the return to Vandercool.
Can we get those two guys like to kind of show Victor like how to get this thing going?
Yeah, they will.
Well,
grab
we're all
somebody-
getting on the boat. Yeah, I figured.
And then one of us has a scroll from
Yeah.
Narasane.
And we need to toss all the dead into the
Yeah.
water.
Okay.
They just float.
So
And are those
Oh.
skins or did any of them, do we know, have any really unique properties or that Sylvester might like?
there's no crazy properties, but they are very expensive, exotic I mean, it is a full cargo ship of stuff. You get
So the ghouls
The
get that
sense-
basically.
Yeah, you get the sense that they came here on an order outside of their normal trading. And that this cargo definitely doesn't necessarily. No. I'm talking out my ass. This is their normal trading route. This cargo would go to Fretlock. Because from Fretlock, Fretlock is kind of like the underworld kind of equivalent or closest thing to Zobek. You can easily get from Zobek to Fretlock. It's one of the main thoroughfares out of the Ghoul Imperium. So it is a major market or merchant area or commerce area between the underworld and the surface world because of the link from Fretlock to Zobek. So these would be heading off the boat to Fretlock to be sold and traded.
Interesting. So I'm gonna dig through and pick like a skin thing that Sylvester would really, really like.
Whatever you feel like it looks like, that is an exotic underworld creature, and that works.
Awesome.
Nice.
And you can get. I mean, this thing is.
He's a
this-
stylish guy.
This is the big ship, or a big cargo on it. You can take a couple to make sure you can make a whole freaking like mink
pimp
suit if
suit.
you want, or
But yeah,
whatever.
pimp suit.
Yeah, a full pimp suit, a sable and mink and everything. But the underworld versions,
Cave sables and cave minks.
yeah, cave sables, yeah.
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 So, it's kind of a bigger vessel. Oh, this is the bad guy too.
More than a two-man crew. So we'll explain.
No, so yeah, so he more than anything, if everybody else gets on the boat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is plenty though. They can kind of direct. They can show one person how to kind of steer and captain it. They can direct you. It's not gonna be the quickest. Like, you're not quickly jumping on this thing and getting out. They're kind of explaining it and directing you as you go. But over the course of the next like 30 minutes, they're able to get the boat back into a ready position to start sailing. If you want to use your burst of wind scroll, you could. You don't really need to with the oars and what's on the water. They can get it moving.
Yeah, save that for emergency.
Yeah. So after you guys,
Can
got
you
to the stock.
heal Annie? Can I heal Annie? Because I have a cure. A bead.
Sure. You
Okay.
can do.
She's
You're going to
good.
use one of the healing beads for Annie right
Yeah,
now?
because
So
it
is-
works
it
every
is a-
day. Once
It's like
per
a day. Oh, it's once per day.
So like the bead necklace, according to D&D Beyond, it when you wake up in the morning, the 5 things like refresh.
Gotcha. Cool. So yeah, sure. You heal her.
Yeah.
She looks good.
There we go.
Perch on the top of the main mast.
Gotcha. So you guys got to the dock from direction by Narrowsane. You found the crew of the Skin Trader and what appears to be some type of Shadow Fae ambassador that had just left Vandercool. You murdered them all, paid off the administration ghouls to not see anything, took the crew from the defunct Crimson Bloater. You are now on the Skin Trader, sailing out onto the Sulphur Sea on your way to Vandercool to sooner than later hopefully stop this ritual from Duke Drago Blackfly that would alter the course of history. And that's obviously where we're going to end for this evening.
Nice.
Oh, thank you everybody for being here, for Floorwaxer, for that Bane. Check us out next week. We will be back for continuation of this, heading towards the end. Tomorrow, Jason, what is up?
Tomorrow Merkborg is back, everybody. So we are going to be playing not part of the campaign, but Putrescence Regnant, which is the latest release from the actual Merkborg team. So it is a bog crawl, which we will which will make more sense tomorrow night. So it's going to be Ryan, Jess, Ducky, and Skull is going to be there, the Sculpting Chin.
That'll be
There we go.
awesome.
And it's gonna be a good time. It's definitely gonna be interesting playing a different character because everyone in our Merkborg throughout everything, it's been a continuation of the same storyline, so it's going to be interesting. Some of us played other characters in an off-screen thing, which was a good time. So we'll see how that goes. So catch us tomorrow for that, and on Saturday, myself and Hunter, the father of cats, will be interviewing here on the Adventure Archive, hanging out with the artist and co-creator of Merkborg, Johan Nohr, who also did Into the Odd, Simba Room, who's done a ton of covers for a lot of third-party zines like Rites of Vengeance and Forbidden Psalm and like uncountable things, Merkborg Cult, all of it. He is going to be right here on the Weekly Scroll on the Adventure Archive Saturday at noon, drinking a beer and talking about all of that.
Noon Pacific, right?
Noon Pacific, yeah, California time, 2 o'clock Central Time where Hunter's at. So you don't want to miss that. That's going to be really interesting and fun and kind of unbelievable, realistically. So yeah. Hey, thank you for the 100 bits, Floor Waxer. We appreciate that. So yeah, we are going to raid out. So stick around for just a moment. We'll run a little bit of credits here at the end. And then raid. We're gonna just raid into our friend Super Kalen. So everybody have a wonderful evening. Be sure to be here tomorrow on Saturday and catch us next week. Have a good night.